Good evening, educators. Good morning, good afternoon to all of the educators who are joining us from all around the world. We are so happy that you have joined us for the second session of the International Educators Bootcamp. With me, I also have my colleague, Ms. Shruti. Hi, Shruti ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I hope you all are doing great.
Yeah. With that, also joining us as a guest expert speaker, Ms. Anni Kumar ma'am.
Hello,
A very
Annie
good evening,
ma'am.
Anni
A
ma'am.
very good evening.
Ma'am, you are on mute. Can you hear us?
Yes, I am able to hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Good evening,
Nice
ma'am.
to see you, ma'am, after a long while.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening.
Very good evening and good afternoon or good morning to all of you who are joining us from all around the globe. We will be starting a live session at 4 p.m. Indian time. That is, in short, 7 minutes. So I request all of you to, till the time, to please download the PictoBlox application, the latest version, by scanning the QR code that is in front of your screen if you haven't downloaded it yet. And also take out your time to please fill the survey form that is present in front of you in the QR code. So I request all of you to please download the PictoBlox application as well as fill the survey form if you haven't. And I hope you all are very excited for today's session as well, because we all are, and we are looking forward to your amazing cooperation once again. A very good evening to everybody who are joining us. Good afternoon from South Africa. Greetings to all of you. So we will be starting a live session in another 6 minutes. I request all of you to please download the PictoBlox application if you haven't, and also fill out the survey form. And do not forget to call your colleagues and your friends to join us together in this live bootcamp session. I'm requesting all of you to please call out your friends to join us live in this session, and we will be starting shortly.
As Vivek mentioned, that if you haven't downloaded the PictoBlox application, please download it by scanning the QR code in front of your screen. And please fill out this pre-survey form if you haven't filled yet. If you have already filled it, then please ignore it.
As already mentioned, we will be starting our session very shortly. So by the time, I request all of you to please download the PictoBlox and call out your colleagues to join us live. I hope you all are very excited as we are to start with the second session of International Educators Bootcamp, in which we will be working on game development with Python. And I was very amazed, to be very honest. We all were very amazed to see the wonderful creations of each and every one of the educator who has shared their assignment videos, the assignment YouTube videos with us in the WhatsApp as well as the Telegram group. We are so happy to see the amazing work done by all of you. This is really motivating for us as well as for the rest of the educator as well. So huge kudos and congratulations to the educators who have done a tremendous, amazing job in these assignments. So educators, the question that was coming up, the video, you can upload it anytime, but you have to upload it before 8th September. 8th September is the last day to submit your capstone project and to submit and complete everything on LMS. Then only you will be considered as a participant for the top performing team. So all the top performing educators will be selected after 8th of September. So if you want to be a part of the top performer, the top 10 educator list, you have to submit your capstone project and all of the assignment by 8th of September. Assignments can only be submitted in YouTube video link format. You cannot submit Google Drive link. New world creation, you are saying that session 1, introduction to Python in PictoBlox, unable to unlock 6 topics. So please, you have to start the course. There must be a button to start the course, and then the sessions will be unlocked. We don't have any second day survey, Gurmeet ji. For the second day, we don't have any survey. We will be having attendance and feedback form. The links will be shared shortly. Hi, Pola. Hi from Greece. Hi from India from our side. So I'm requesting all of you to please call out your friends and colleagues to join us live for this session. And we will be starting very shortly. Once again, a very good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of the educators joining us from all around the world. I think it's a good time to start the Educator Bootcamp session 2. Over to you, Ms. Shruti.
Thank you so much, Vivek, for engaging the audience with us. And I hope we are getting so many like the educators who are engaging with us, and they'll be with us like in a very short span of time. So to start with on time, and so I would like to say hello everyone. I would like to welcome you all. This is Shruti Khare, an education program manager at STEMpedia. I would like to welcome you all to the second day of this international boot camp, which is the second session that is on game development. We hope that you all are doing great and are excited to start this second session of International AI, Python, and Robotics Bootcamp. Dear educators, you all have done a great job in the last session. We have received so many assignments in the form of your creative videos, and we are really appreciate that, and kudos to every one of you. Those people who haven't submitted the assignments, please, still you have a chance to submit those assignments to us. So please submit your assignments within the timeline, please. This special bootcamp is for teachers, educators, and STEM trainers from all around the globe. We have been conducting this bootcamp for the past 2 years, in which we have empowered 15,000 plus educators from 80 plus countries. And now, this year, 2023, we are organizing the third edition of the bootcamp. We are really glad that today Ms. Annie has joined us as an expert speaker to share her expertise about AI, coding, and robotics in education. We want to thank you to our expert for joining this session. Before we dive into the action package agenda that awaits us, let's take a moment to understand the objectives that lie at the heart of this bootcamp. You see that this isn't just any journey or any kind of ordinary gathering. It's a dynamic learning experience carefully designed to help us achieve some key goals. So our first objective for this bootcamp is to empower our educators by strengthening their understanding on coding, artificial intelligence, and robotics by enhancing their 21st century skills. Secondly, we are providing an experience of hands-on learning to all our educators on these latest technologies. Moreover, we are making each and every educator confident enough to discuss these skills with their students by enhancing their technical skills. We are also providing an exposure to all our educators to be an ambassador of Python and AI learning. Moving ahead, I would like to thank our supporters who have been supporting us with this bootcamp from past years, from like in this year and in coming years as well. I would like to thank you, our Indian supporters. We have Art Park, Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog, All India Educators Forum, American India Foundation, SRF Foundation, Bharti Foundation, Learning Link Foundation, GUSEC, LearnHill, Tata Classes, Inventant Education, EDAC, Leadership for Equity. Thank you to all our supporters for supporting us with this bootcamp by engaging your associated educators with us. I would like to say my special thanks to Codever 5.0 also to have the contribution with this bootcamp. We will be coming with the details about the exciting competition, which is Codever 5.0. Moving further, I would like to thank our international supporters as well, who have been collaborated with us for this bootcamp for engaging their educators. I would like to thank CKBS Ghana, AIS Azari Algeria, NEMA Academy Nepal, Pritasi Junior Indonesia, Really EduTech South Korea, Code Kidwa Indonesia, Shaguf Egypt, Unique World Robotics UAE, BSEC Nigeria, ZTech Foundation Nigeria, IoT Kids Iraq, EduStore South Africa, SMJK Kid Heva Malaysia, EdTech UK, EDM Edka Singapore, and but last but not the least, Robotona Jordan. Thank you to all our supporters, our collaborators. Just because of you, this great journey of this bootcamp, it just happened just because of your support only. So this time to introduce our expert in front of you. So it is the great pleasure that we gather here today for a session of profound insights. We are honored to welcome Ms. Ani Kumar, who is the HODCS at Vikas Bharati Public School. She is a national ICT awardee. We are really honored to have you here with us, ma'am. Our experts have been contributing significantly to the advancement and the propagation of these critical disciplines. Now, I would like to request Ms. Ani ma'am to share her journey to motivate our educators to learn these 21st century skills and highlight your point of view that why these AI, Python, and robotics are really important to learn for the educators. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Shruti, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. So I would like to thank all of you also for joining this session. So as all of you are already aware that AI, Python and robotics, these are the technologies that is actually becoming very important these days. And we need to integrate them in our teaching methodologies. These are the cutting edge technologies that offers transformative opportunities to enhance the learning experience. It also helps to prepare, we need to basically prepare the students for the future job market and address the educational challenges in innovative ways. So all of us are actually too much aware that these are the forefront of the technological advancements, and they are driving the job growth across the various industries and making it imperative for educators to equip students with the skills and knowledge required to succeed in these fields. Teaching these technologies can provide a competitive advantage to both educators and students in the job market. Even the generative AI, the most chat GPT, can help to personalize learning experiences by analyzing individual student performance and adapting content accordingly. Python is also a very versatile programming language, and it can be used to create interactive and engaging educational applications. Robotics, on the other hand, can foster hands-on learning experiences, promoting problem solving and critical thinking skills. I have seen children with special needs, they do wonders in the robotics. So we can use these features to just enhance our teaching learning process. These technologies also integrate the interdisciplinary learning, like they help to bridge the gap between the subjects like math, science, and even arts, because when they are building these projects, they learn all these things. And these developments can be used to integrate to create a curriculum that is helping to promote the holistic development and help inculcating the problem solving skills that is actually required by in today's era. So AI driven analytics can even help to identify at-risk students and provide timely interventions. Python and robotics are making learning more accessible for students with disabilities, as I have already told you, through this adaptive technologies and assistive devices. In this rapidly ever-changing technological landscape, all educators needs to prepare students for the job that we are not able to see it today. But AI, Python, and robotics, they can provide the foundation for this adaptability and continuous learning and essential skills for the future workforce. So these technologies can enable students to collaborate on projects that they need on projects and even the research materials, and even they can even collaborate in the worldwide market. And it can also help that to foster the global connections, so that students as a whole, they are able to create the real world solving projects, and they can work on the sustainable development growth. This practical approach can basically enhance the relevance of the education system. So we as an educator and we as a students, we always think that why we are teaching, and students think that why they are studying. So we need to have something that is actually going to help the students, that we are learning this to solve this problem. So inculcating those skills in the children will basically help us to we as an educator, we need to impart that skills in the students, so we can play a very crucial role in shaping the responsible tech citizens. So I think if we are going to practice the skills ourselves, then surely we can teach it. So it is always said that if you use the skills yourself, if you know the skills yourself, if you are proficient in those skills, then surely you can use it for your students. So it is truly said that. And yes, I would like to thank STEMpedia for conducting such type of workshops for teachers, so that they are actually empowering us, so that we can empower the future generation of the country. So thank you, STEMpedia, for such a noble cause. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ani ma'am. Thanks a lot for your valuable insights, and your words has been definitely like motivate all the educators who are already engaged with us. Thank you so very much. for engaging with us for these couple of minutes, and your sharing will definitely gonna motivate our educators for sure. Thank you so much, Ani ma'am. So this time to moving ahead with the session, which is which will be conducted by Mr. Vivek. And I would like to call my colleague Mr. Vivek to take the session ahead on game development, for which our audience is already awaiting. Over to you, Mr. Vivek.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shruti and Ms. Ani ma'am. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Perfect. So a huge welcome to all of you once again, and a huge congratulations to all of the educators who have done an amazing job in the all of the assignments that I have seen so far. They were so nice, and I'm actually very motivated to give my best also in the upcoming sessions as well. So I will love to see more such creations from everyone. So let's start the session with the takes away of session number 1. So in session number 1, we learned about Python basics, variables and data types, lists and strings. We made an activity of loan interest calculator. Now I would like to just mention few points before moving ahead with the activity. So I hope my activity screen, the PictoBlox screen, is visible.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. So as you can see, this is the whole entire code of the loan interest calculator activity. In this code, we are defining a function, and in which we are having a colon at the end. And after that, we are defining the function body. The body of the function has to be indented. So if you can see in line number 4, if I just zoom it out a little bit. So on line number 4, the text is indented a little bit towards the right-hand side. So educators, please don't get confused. If the indentation is not there, the code will show error. So all you have to do is add an indentation just like this. Backspace, move it to the line and then enter. The indentation will automatically be added there in that particular line. After this, the rest of the code will not come as a part of the function. That will not be the body of the function. It will be the separate code in which we are taking input of principal, rate, as well as time. One more thing that I wanted to mention before moving ahead is this, that in the function, we have to mention the return statement with what exactly we want the function to return. So this return statement specifies what the function will be returning us at the end. So the function is basically interest calculator, in which we are checking, checking the amount by a formula, that is principal plus the simple interest formula. So that amount we have to return at the end of the function. And after this, what we are doing, we are just directly calling the function with the help of interest calculator, in which we are giving the parameters as principal, rate, and time, the user input that we have taken via these 3 particular variables. So this is what the whole code looks like. I don't want the educators to be confused. If you are confused, you can, text us directly on the WhatsApp or the Telegram group. The links are also there in the description box. You can join it if you haven't, and you can share and ask your queries there directly. So if you face any problems, we are here to help you out. So I hope this particular activity was very clear to all of you. Moving ahead, we had one DIY project of text palindrome as well. So that text palindrome DIY, you can check it out. That is an extra example activity for all of you to enhance and sharpen your knowledge of the principles of programming that we gained in session number 1. With that, we have assignments. Assignments are basically the same activity that we do. You just have to make a YouTube video out of it and submit that YouTube video link on your online course. So after seeing a lot of amazing videos from all of the educators, we are more than happy and we are very excited to see who will be the top 10 performers at the end of this educators bootcamp. And I hope all of you have submitted your assignments and marked your sessions complete on the online course. and also have submitted the feedback and attendance form of session number 1. So moving ahead, as a lot of you are asking for the attendance form, there is the attendance form in front of you. All you have to do is you just have to scan the QR code that is there, and you will be redirected to the attendance form. With that, I am also sharing the attendance form in the description box. It is also mentioned, and I'm also sharing it live on the chat box as well. So I request all of you to please mark your attendance by filling out the attendance cum pre-session survey form. Please take out a moment to mark your attendance by filling out the form. As I already mentioned in the earlier sessions as well, you have to fill both the forms. First is the attendance form. Second is the feedback form that we will be sharing post after the session. So you have to fill both the forms of each and every session to secure your participation certificate. So I request all of you to please submit the attendance form. Perfect. Thank you so much, Harita, Mohammed, Hassan, Darshan's coding. Great. So I want all of you to please submit, take out a moment, take 2 minutes of your time and fill this attendance form to secure your participation certificate. And once you are done with the submission of the form, all you have to do is just give a thumbs up or type done in the live chat box. Perfect. All right. So I think you all have submitted the attendance form. If not, the attendance form, I'm sharing it again in the live chat and also pinning it at the top. So I'm pinning this attendance form at the top, so you will be able to access it very easily. So the attendance form link is pinned in the live chat box for your ease. All right. Moving forward, let's begin the session 2 of game development in Python. So all you need to do is buckle up and prepare yourself to explore the thrilling and exciting world of game development in Python PictoBlox interface. All right. So coming out to the topics that we will be covering in this particular session are introduction to game development, program game conditions. So we will be making an activity of maze beetle challenge. And we will be also talking about the exciting functionalities of the PictoBlox application. That what makes it unique IDE out there. We will be talking about the REPL mode as well as the debugger functionality of the PictoBlox application. Moving forward to introduction to game development. Now, I think all of you must have played games in your childhood, or you must be playing games right now also. Sometimes I also play games to make my day-to-day life a little more fun. So I hope you also like to play games. Shruti man, what about you? Do you play games?
Of course, I like to play games, and even I like more to create games now.
Exactly. Now, what we will be doing, we will be creating games in this particular session. So game development is nothing. It's just an exciting journey of planning and executing, plus testing and debugging. So it's basically we are just following the same plan as we follow in the steps of programming as well. First, we have to design and plan everything that what exactly we want to do. Second is just writing the code and testing it out. So these are the three main parts of game development: planning or designing, writing the code, testing and debugging. in this 3 steps, we have to, while planning, we have to understand the needs of the users that we will be catering. So we have to understand the psychology of the users we want to cater. So if I'm making a game, which is a very basic games, it will be catering the needs of students who are studying in lower standards. But if I'm creating games like PUBG, Call of Duty, Minecraft, so such games will be catering the needs of the older ones, the older generation, right? Generation, the young generation, the young youth. So there, that is the difference. So we have to, while planning about the game, we have to make sure that what the user wants and what is the trendiest topic out there. So this is what includes under the programming part. And while designing it, we have to make sure what will be suitable and what content is suitable out there and appropriate according to the age group. Then we just have to do the code and we will be done with the testing and debugging part, and we can launch that application. So now what we will be doing is we will be opening PictoBlox application to set up the environment. That means planning everything. As I mentioned, the first step is going to be planning everything. So we will start with the planning of our activity today. So what I will be doing is I will be sharing my PictoBlox screen as well. Now, what I have to do, I have to open a new file in the PictoBlox application. For this, I will be clicking on the file icon at the top. Once I click on the file icon, I have to click on new. So you can see it has again redirected me to the block-based environment. So what I have to do, I have to click on the Python interface right over here. And then click on go ahead. This will take me to the Python interface, a fresh new project file. I hope everyone has opened the Python interface in their PictoBlox application. If you have, give me a thumbs up so that we can move ahead and we all can be on the same pace. Perfect, Marila, Rupali ji, perfect. Rashika, Pola, amazing, perfect. So now let's start with the setting up the environment. So as I mentioned, to start up with the game, we have to first plan and design it. So we are planning it the first thing, the first phase of our game. That is, we want characters. What are the characters that we want? We want 2 characters in this game. First will be the beetle, and second, what will be the second one? I want you to answer this. First will be the beetle, and the second one will be, what are the 2 components that we will be needing to set up our environment? First is the beetle, and I want you to name the second part. It is there on your screen. First beetle, and the second part will be apple. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of apples. Clear. Maze with the apple. Very good. Bhupendra sir, you are correct. We will be needing maze with the apple. Good job, everyone. We will be needing background. Very good, Alok sir. Alok Sharma sir. Amazing. We will be needing the maze. So what we will do, we will first delete the topic, right? And now we will go and click on choose a sprite button. So I hope you can see. I will draw a line also for you all. We have to click on this button. So I request you to please click on this button. It will open up the sprite library for you. In that sprite library, you can directly go to animals section or search also. If you go on animal section, you will be able to see the beetle. You can choose ladybug also if you want to. You can choose any animal that you want. But in this case, I will be choosing beetle. Now, all of you have to give me a thumbs up once you are done with this part. All you have to do is click on choose a sprite button and select the sprite beetle. And it should be there on your stage. You can see over here. We have to delete Toby. We have to delete the Toby sprite. Perfect. I'm getting a lot of good thumbs up. All right. After this, what we have to do, we have to load in the backdrop. As you mentioned, the first element of our game is beetle. The second element is maze, the maze backdrop. So for this, what I will be doing, I will be directly clicking on the button next to it, which is for the backdrops. So I hope you can see it on your PictoBlox screen. All you have to do, click on the choose a backdrop button. It will open up the entire library for you. From that library, you have to select maze. Very easy steps, right? All you have to do, click on the backdrop icon, select backdrop as maze, and your two elements are there on your stage. So please give me a thumbs up once you're done with this part as well, so that we can move forward. We will be needing the maze backdrop, which includes Apple as well as the maze grid. Yes, I will increase my font size. Please don't worry. Once we start the code, I will definitely increase the font size. Now, what we have to do, we have to set up the coding environment, the setting up the environment of the game so that we can start with the coding procedure. So first thing that I have to do, I have to drag the beetle and place it here. The beetle size is little too big, right? It won't go through the curves in the maze very easily. So can you suggest me what should I do? Shall I resize it? Shall I change its direction? What should I do? Now, this is something that I want you to answer. Okay, what you have to do to delete the Toby sprite, you just have to click on the icon, the dustbin icon. I will add the Toby sprite again. This is the dustbin icon at the top. This dustbin icon, you have to just click on it and you have to delete the Toby sprite. Now I want the answer for my question. Change size to 40. Perfect. In properties, change the size. Very good. Right. So what I have to do, over here, there is an option to change the size. Right over here. So what I will be doing, I will be changing the size. Let's say 40. 40 is a little too small. It won't be that much challenging for our students or for yourself also. 60 is okay, or maybe let's try out 70. Yeah, 70 works much better because 70 at the size of 70, we have chances to win as well as lose also. Okay, once you have set the size, what you have to do, you have to click on the directions over here. You have to just click on it. It will open up a dial for you. On this dial, using this mouse pointer, take the arrow like this. That means it has to point forward 0 degrees. That is what we want. So it should, what all you have to do, you have to first change the size to 70 and change the direction to 0. Now I want all of you to do this part. And once you are done, give me a big thumbs up in the chat box. Size will be 60 or 70, depends on you, and direction will be 0 degrees. And you have to place it here in at the starting point of the maze. Yes, we can use the sprite functions also to change the size and directions, but we are just using a shortcut. Perfect. So yeah, you all are done with this part. So let's move to the next part. Now let's start with the coding part. Now the sprite setting, the planning the game and designing part is all done. Now we will start with the coding part. Now here I have, broken down the coding part into two parts. First will be the beetle movement, and second will be the program condition, the conditions of the game. So beetle movement will be, if I'm pressing the up arrow, my beetle should move upwards. If I'm pressing down arrow, my beetle should move downwards. If I'm pressing right and left, it should go right and left. So now I want you to tell me what we will be doing. I want answers in the chat box. That is what I'm looking at. I am open to answers in the chat box. What will we be using to check this condition? Now I want answers. No, here we can only set the background like this. You have to select the background, though you have options to upload your background also, or you can create your background as well. So you have the option. Using branching statements, keyboard response, if statements, very good. Manzala and Alok sir, amazing. Yes, we will be using if statements. Now I want to ask one more question. If we will use if statements, and if we will just run this code once, the if statements will be checked once only. But I want the if statements to be checked throughout the execution code. What I will do? A very good question to all of you. Perfect. All of you are right. We will be doing this only. But what I will be doing? While and if. Very good. Good job, guys. So we will be using the while loop to make it a forever loop, which will check all of the if statements that are inside that particular loop. So what we will do? We will just type while one, or we can type while true. It depends on you. Both works over in this case. So while true, that means it is a forever loop. Inside the forever loop, we are adding if. Now, what will come in the if statement over here? If the sprite dot, what will come? I want the chat box. Come on. Yeah, I will repeat the question. Ritika ma'am, the question is, what will come inside the if statement? It is noted that we will be using a forever loop. Inside that, we will be using the nested if conditions. Means we will be using more if conditions, four if conditions, not nested. But what will come under the if statement? What will be the statement? Very good, Bhupendra sir. It will be is key pressed in bracket up arrow. Super. We will be using sprite dot is key pressed. In this, either with double quotes or single quotes, it depends on you. We will be writing up arrow. So that is all we have to do. In this case, it doesn't matter if U is capital or A is capital. It totally depends. After this, of course, we have to give a colon and we have to define what we will do if we press the up arrow. Now you have to tell me what we will do. So first thing, let's say this is my beetle. Though this is a small little elephant, let's say this is my beetle. I want the beetle to move forward and should point in that direction. So what function I will use? First thing that I wanted to do, move forward 5 steps. Second thing that I wanted to do, face in that direction only. In the direction we wanted to face into. So for this, which are the two things that I will be using. Sprite set direction, good job. Very good, Bripender sir. And sprite move, very good, Darshan and Gurnur. Amazing. What we will be using? We will be using sprite dot set direction. In this case, direction will be 0 because we are moving forward. So if you get confused with the directions, what I used to do is I used to just click on directions over here and check out the directions. So if I want to make it face downwards, direction will be 180. If I want to make it face left, direction will be minus 90. If I want to face it right, direction will be right 90. So this is a cheat trick that you can try it out if you face any problem in the direction part. So correct. After this, we will be moving the sprite dot move. And we will be moving it 5 steps. It totally depends on you. You can move it 5 steps, 10 steps. It's up to you. Now, one of you have asked the difference between while and for loop in this case. So while loop over here will be working as a forever loop. So whatever will be inside the while loop will be checked again and again until the execution of the code is stopped by clicking the stop button. But the forever loop is used to do something at a very specific amount of time. We cannot turn forever loop into, we cannot turn for loop into forever loop, but we can turn while loop into forever. For loop is basically to check out or to check something at a very specific amount of time, a desired amount of time. But over here, we don't have any desired time. We want to check it until the execution of the code is stopped. So therefore, we are using a forever loop. And how to create forever loop in Python? With help of while loop over here. Either you can type true or you can type 1. Both works. Because if you know that 1 also in programming, 1 is also true. 1 is true. Sorry. And 0 is false. So please note it down that 1 is true and 0 is false. So if you see this anywhere, you will be able to rely to this that 1 is true and 0 is false. So true is true, 1 is true, true is 1, vice versa. Yes, 1 is true. Yes, Athur, 1 is true. Yeah. So we will be now, once we are done with this part, now we can just copy this whole if code and paste it 4 times. Instead of up, we will do down. Instead of up, we will do left. Instead of up, we will do right. And we will change the directions also. So I will just add one blank line so that it is easy for you to differentiate between it. So if the sprite dot is key pressed, down arrow. So that means if the down arrow is pressed on your navigation bar, we want to set its direction to 180 degrees and move 5 forward. Means move 5 steps forward. Then if we are pressing the left arrow key, then we want it to face minus 90 and then move 5 steps forward in that direction. And if the right arrow is pressed, we want it to face 90 degrees and then move 5 steps. So that is the beetle movement code. Now, please be done with this and then you can ask a question. I don't understand the move 5. So move is basically to move the selected sprite, that is beetle over in this case. Move is just a function to move the sprite on the stage. So movement we will be doing so that once we press the dedicated arrow, it should face in that direction and then move in that direction. That is what the move function is used for. We can use elif also, but in this case, I don't want to complicate the code execution part. So this, if I come to the discussion, if we can, definitely we can use elif in this case, but I don't want it to check first condition, then check second condition. If that is not true, if that is not true, then check third condition. If that is not true, then check other condition. I don't want it to check condition step by step. I don't want it to waste the execution time. I want it to check all of it at once. That is why we are using the if conditions here 4 times. We could have used elif, but the smarter way of doing this code will be using if conditions only. So such code that you want to repeat or you want to check that particular code throughout the execution part, you can use if conditions also, or elif also. But in this case, the if was suiting much better because it will, decrease the execution time and our game will be executing very smoothly. 70 size is too much. Set the size to 60. Sure, we can set the size to 60. We can set the size anytime. That's not a problem. Sorry. Size 60 is also perfect. How to create duplicate? All you have to do is select the code, Control plus C, and paste it. Control plus V. That is how you duplicate the code. You're just duplicating the text. Why move 5? Why not 1? Because we don't want it to move 1 step forward. We want it to move at least 5 steps forwards, right? That is only the thing that we don't want it to move 1 step. We want it to move 5 steps at least. 5 little steps. It will be very little only. So if I just test it out in front of you, I will run this code. As I mentioned, please ignore the warnings that are coming up. So you can see I'm pressing the up arrow and it is moving little 5 steps. Straight. So please check out your code. It should work just like this. So I'm moving very fast now. As you can see right now, I can touch the black lines. It's not doing anything because we have to program the game conditions. I will park my beetle once again. Perfect. So please check this out and let me know if this is done. I'm not getting how to execution time is saved using if only. Okay. So once again, if I explain this to you, the if else, the elif part, or if else, we can say if else also. The elif part is going to check the conditions one by one. So if I give you example, this is a if condition. I can type here elif. I can type this same condition here and this part. Now, what will happen? I'm just, putting it down so that you won't get confused. So what is happening over here? The computer is checking this condition first. Is this condition true? Then if it is not, then it is going to check this condition. Then if this condition is not true, then it will check the other elif condition. If that is also not true, it will check other elif condition. And if that is also not true, it will go crazy. It will do something else that we will command it to do. But you see, it is wasting the time checking all of the conditions. We don't want this. Instead of that, the smarter way will be just checking the conditions at one go. So when I will execute this particular code, what it will do, it will check if this is true, okay. If this is true, okay. If this is true, okay. If this is true, do this. Basically, that is what we are doing over here. Just to decrease the execution time. All of these if conditions will be checked forever. They will be checked as a one thing. They won't be checked as one nested conditions. So you can say that we are checking every condition at one go using the forever loop. But if we use elif with if, it will be checking conditions step by step. That will increase the execution time. I hope it was clear to all of you. So once you are done with this part, I want you to give me a big thumbs up so that we can move ahead. Dear educators. Passing failed error is coming yesterday. Also came, same error was there today. The passing failed error is not an error, it's just a warning that is coming up in my PC just because I'm using the not released version of the PictoBlox. So I'm having the testing version of the PictoBlox in my laptop, which will soon be released without the warnings at your end. All right. Now let's move to the next part of the code. So beetle movement is done. Now we will be doing the gaming conditions. We will program the gaming conditions. The conditions are, if the beetle is touching the black line or black color, it should stop. It should say game over. But if the beetle is touching the red apple, it should say you won the game. So that is what we will be coding for. All right, as all of you are done with this part, let's move to the programming conditions now. Okay, now in the same thing, what we will be doing in the forever loop only. Now we will code for if sprite dot is touching color. In this case, we are using color because we don't have, so we could use if touching, but in this case, we don't have any other sprite that we can mention in here. Therefore, we will be using the color option only. So that is the difference between is touching and touching. So I will just write it down also for all of you. So is touching is basically for specific sprites or edge and is touching color is basically for colors only. So that is the difference between the is touching and is touching color function, the sprite function. So over here, we will be using if is the touching color in the if statement. Now we have to mention the color. So to mention the color, we will be using the RGB codes. So the black code, the black color RGB code is 000. If it is touching the black line, it should set its direction to 0 and go back to the starting position, which is this position. So for this, what I will do, simply I will write the same thing, set the direction, sprite dot set direction to 0 and sprite dot go to sprite dot go to xy function. Here I have to define the x position first. The x position is minus 141. So I will write minus 141, comma, the y position, which is minus 148. Minus 148. It can be different in your game. It doesn't matter. It can be different. It's completely fine. So it won't be facing the problem. Okay, I am missing out one more this. Yeah, sorry. So this is the thing. What we are doing over here, we are just testing if the sprite is touching the color black. We are mentioning the black as RGB codes. Then I want it to go to 0 direction, means face forward, and then go to its starting position, which is this one. So I hope till here everyone is completed the code. Is key pressed failed due to connection? What is this error? Please check the code. Please check the code completely. If there is a single mistake of just a round bracket or a colon, it won't work. Therefore, the code is also there on the LMS. So I request you to open the LMS side by side and keep checking your code from the live session plus on the LMS. So that is why the LMS, the learning online course, comes in very handy. So now I want to just ask you one question, educators. Let's say if I win the game, okay, by touching the apple, I win the game. And if I click on run again, but I see that the beetle is not coming back to its starting position. What should I do? What change should I make in my code over here to make it, come back to its starting position when I start the game, when I click on the run button? This is my new question to all of you. Once again, if educator, you are facing any errors, do check the whole code. Perfect. Perfect, Sakhi. Yes, we need to add go to X, this particular line before the while loop also. So before the while loop, we just have to add this function. So I want all of you to write this particular thing before the while loop so that whenever you run the code, it will go back to its starting position. Yeah. Once again, ignore the warnings. As you can see, it is running perfectly fine. Now let's bump it to the black line and let's see what will happen. So if I bump into the black line, you can see it just snapped back to the starting position. So as you can see, the X and Y coordinates should be there. So if you want to check out the X and Y coordinates, what you can also do, you can check the backdrop that is there, this one, to check the X and Y coordinates. Just for your knowledge. You don't have to use this backdrop. It's just for your own knowledge. Sorry. All right. So now let's program the last condition of this particular activity. That is, if sprite is touching color red, so we will need the red RGB code. So the red RGB code is 25500. RGB is like this now. So we have to mention like RGB. So it has to be like 255, which is the maximum value. G green will be 0, B will be blue will be 0. So this is the RGB code for the red color. So we have to mention that here in another bracket, in another set of brackets, round brackets. So 255, 0, 0, semicolon at the end. So this is what I have to do. So please check it out. It will accept word black. Definitely, it can. You can check that out as well. Okay, so give me a thumbs up once you are done with this part so that we can move ahead. All of you, please give me a thumbs up once you are done with this part. Yes, you can write red or black in double quotes. Perfect. Good. Good job, everyone. A big thumbs up. Great. Now what I will do is I will write the next part of the code. I will stop the execution, my bad. Yeah, there is no error in the Python code. As I mentioned, the warnings will come up. You just have to ignore the warnings because I am having the testing phase of the PictoBlox application. So just ignore the warnings. As you were able to see, my Python code was executing without any problems, very smoothly. Okay, now what I will do, if beetle is touching the apples, right? The apple color, that is red color. it should do something. Now it depends on you what you want it to do. Either you can make it say you won the game. So what I will do is I will do sprite dot say using the say function. I will make it say game over or you won the game. Let's say you won. And I have to mention that you have to say it for 5 seconds. So as we saw that in the first class, in the say function, usually takes two parameters. First is what it has to say, which is this part. After a comma, it will take the second parameter, which is for how long you want that particular message to be said by the particular selected sprite. In this case, we want the beetle sprite to say you won for 5 seconds. But if we don't give 5 over here, it will say this message you won for entire time of the execution. So therefore, I will be mentioning comma 5. And after that, all I have to do is break the loop. Break the loop. And that's our whole code. You can see how easy the code is. It's not difficult to design your own game. Games usually consist of various if condition, loops, and everything. So this is the whole code. This is also there in your LMS. You can directly check it out and you can directly check it out from your LMS so that there are no errors in your code. If there is a single error of a semicolon, comma, or any parenthesis, it will not work. Parenthesis, like the brackets, it will not work at all. So now let's test the code out. I'm clicking on the run button. I will go in the full screen mode. Remove the my video from here. Just 1 second. Yeah. All right, let's test the code. So I'm using the navigation keys, the up and the, okay. I am going a little too fast. So you can decrease the steps also if you want to. It totally depends on you. In this case, you have to be a little patient. Oh, so you see, the game is very interesting. Even I also find it very interesting by playing this game. You can add different things also in this game and make it more creative and submit it as your assignment. You can add coins also. So you can add coins. You can add leaves also for the beetle so that the beetle, when the beetle is hungry, the beetle can eat leaves. So it totally depends on you to make it more creative. Oops. So you can see it is a very interesting game. And I want you to make your assignment videos and share it on the learning course as well as in the WhatsApp and the Telegram group so that all the educators and even me, myself will be motivated. Okay, let's win this. This is challenging me. To all the educators who won the game, kudos to you. So you have to take few little steps one by one. Yes, finally won the game. So you can see after I win the game, the loop breaks out and the beetle says you won for the 5 seconds of time span. So this is the whole game. Now, if I just stop the execution already stopped. If I run it again, the beetle will be back on its starting point. So this is the whole code. I want you to go through the code once again and complete it. And if you're completed, test it out and give me a big thumbs up in the chat box that it is working perfectly fine at your end. But it keeps saying, oops, how to stop this? Please check the code. Please check the code from the LMS. Perfect. The tutorial video, the assignment video is requested to be recorded in English language only, so that we can also rely and we can also check it out. But you are more than welcome to record it in your regional language as well after we are done with the bootcamp. Make sure each and every line of the code is correct. It will not give you errors if it is. Only correct code will be executing perfectly fine. It will not give you any errors. As you can see, it is not giving me any errors as well. So do check the whole code and give me a big thumbs up when you are done. Yeah, sure. The color code for black is 000,0,0,0 for the black and 255,0,0 for color red. That's the code for black and red. All you have to do is instead of 1, just write true. The T has to be capital. That's it. As I mentioned, 1 is also true and true is also 1. It totally depends on you. Thank you so much, Rupali ma'am. That's very nice that you enjoyed the session. But wait, don't go. There is something more interesting coming up for you. I press the down arrow, but it goes up. So check the direction it is going. So please check the direction. Can you check the color code in PictoBlox? As of now, no, you have to check the color code from your end only. You can directly type the color that you want in Google. It will check it out for you. Yeah, it will not say anything when the black color is touched. It will just go back on the starting position. It will only say when you touch the red color. If there is a leaf instead of apple, then you can use touching leaf if you are adding it as a sprite. But if you're adding it as a backdrop part, then you have to use touching color only. If it is showing any warnings to you, ignore the warnings and execute the code. It will be executing without any problem. All right, so I have seen a lot of good thumbs up. If you face any problem, feel free to text us and share the screenshot of your errors or anything that you are facing in the WhatsApp group. All right, now let's move to the next part, which is the most interesting part of the PictoBlox platform, the latest functionality. So the PictoBlox, to make it much easier for the beginners as well as the programmers who program very often on Python programming, we have the REPL mode for you all. So the REPL mode is basically read, evaluate, print, loop mode in the PictoBlox application exclusively for all of the students and educators around the world. So this particular mode will help you to check out the issues or what will be the output of your code without any particular execution. So REPL mode is basically a mode where you will type your code and it will give you the output instantly. So it is just used to check on the issues so that your efforts are less and the efforts of the PictoBlox are more to give you a seamless working environment for your children and for your classroom. So the REPL mode is right over here. I hope you can see it on my screen. I will draw a box as well. This is the REPL mode button. And once you click on this REPL mode, it will open up over here. this is what the REPL mode looks like. All I have to do is just type code. Let's say I want to print hello. It will print hello for us. This is what the REPL mode looks like. Basically, it is used to check whether a block of code is possible to errors or not. Let's say I copy this code, or let's say if I will just make one code over here only for all of you. So if 2 is more than 3, then the dot dot says it's a part of the code. Print by. So you can see it said error, indentation error, because the code was not indentated. Second thing, 2 is not more than 3. Sorry, it is less than 3. But there was an indentation error. So you can see it will execute the code instantly and give you what the error might be, plus what particular execution of that code will look like. So REPL mode is basically for you programmers, teachers and students out there to check out one specific particular code of block or your entire code also to check what the output will be or where the possible errors can arise. So this is what the REPL mode looks like. So I hope the REPL mode is interesting to all of you. I hope you can test it. I hope you will test it out as well. To know more about the REPL mode, you can visit your online course. It is very well explained about the REPL mode in the online course. Okay. Moving forward, we have the debugger, the second most exclusive functionality of PictoBlox application. So debugger is in Python interface. It is a very powerful tool which is designed to aid your students' problems that arise in the classroom that you might not be able to understand. As a programmer, as a day-to-day programmer, I also come up with problems that I am not able to understand as well. So if I just give you example, Google had an issue with their code and they were not able to understand what the issue was. And the issue was only of a semicolon. That came into the news as well. So debugger as well as the REPL mode will help you to give a seamless execution of code in your classroom. As a teacher, as I am also a trainer, as you are also a teacher, you must be you will, of course, you get tired to resolve each and everyone's query. But if you have these handy tools with you, you can just direct the students to check their code on REPL mode and check and debug it with the help of debugger. The execution will be seamless. It will be perfect. It will be giving them the output that they desired. So to know more about the debugger, you can again check out the online course. The debugger is very well explained over there. Plus, as you can see, I will show the debugger over here as well. So debugger is right this button. So if you just click on this button, it will open up the debugger for you. So this is what the debugger looks like. Each and every component, ignore the warning, each and every component is very well explained about the debugger on the online course. So do check it on the online course to know more about it, to know all about these buttons over here, to know about what this variable palette will be used for, this call stack, and the breakpoints that you can add in your code. So everything is very well explained over to the LMS on the online course that you already have enrolled into. So these cutting edge tools that are there in the PictoBlox Python interface will help you to cater the needs of the student and give the best experience while coding and while programming to yourself and to your classroom as well. So I hope all of you found these very interesting. Yes. So for the ones who it says we are working on the REPL mode, if you are using a MacBook, the REPL mode is not yet released. As I am using a MacBook, but I'm using a testing phase. Therefore, the warnings are coming up. So you are working on the MacBook release of the REPL mode. But if you're having a Windows laptop or a Linux, it will be there. You just have to install the latest version of PictoBlox. The links to the latest version of the PictoBlox is also in the description box as well as in the live chat box. Now, moving ahead, you have the do-it-yourself project as well for this session also. So this is the project that you can test it out yourself too. Over here, we have the food chain game. So it's a very interesting food chain game that you can use to teach kids about basic science as well. So a lot of educators, while joining this bootcamp, were saying that I am not an ICT teacher. I don't know about programming and how programming will be helpful for our students in our class. This is how it will be. You can make interesting games, interactive sessions to teach students about the basic principles of science, mathematics, even social studies as well, with the help of AR and VR, which will be launching very soon. Now, moving ahead, I will be showcasing you once again about the LMS. And after that, we will be sharing the feedback form link. So stay tuned, because if you don't mark your attendance in the feedback form, you will not be getting your participation certificate. So as you can see over here, I am on the session 2. So all you have to do is visit the official educators bootcamp site, click on register. I want you to please focus on this. Click on register. It will open up the page, the registration page for all of you. If you have already registered, you don't need to register again. You just have to log in. So as I'm already logged in, I can directly go to my dashboard where I will see my course. So you have to click on take this course and start this course button to get access to session 1 as well as session 2. So in session 2, all you have to do is, again, you have the subtopics. By one, you have to mark complete each and every topic so that your LMS is completed. Because to get the participation certificate, we have 2 criteria. You have to complete the learn online course, the LMS, as well as you have to fill feedback and attendance form of each and every day after each and every session. So you can just mark complete this one by one. And over here in the game condition part is where you have to submit your assignment. So you have to complete each and every topic. So you can see each and every topic is explained just like the same I have done in my session as well. And over here, you have to submit your project video link. So you have to give the title as the Maze Beetle Challenge or Maze Beetle Game. And then you have to give the video link. It should be YouTube video link only. It should not be your Google Drive link. Only YouTube video links are acceptable. All right. After that, you can go to the REPL mode, debugger, and the DIY food chain game as well. So this is what you have on your LMS. And you can see REPL mode and the debugger is very well explained over the online course, which will help you to use these cutting edge technologies in your classroom as well. So make sure you mark complete each and every subtopic so that you are referred to the next topic. So you can see everything is very well explained over here. All of the details are there so that you can use these tools in your classroom. Once you mark complete this, you will be redirected to the food chain game. And you can try out the food chain game. Even the code is here as well. This is just a sample code. You can add more into it. You can make it more interactive. You can make it more exciting, of course. Yesterday, I saw a lot of videos with a lot of amazing interactive and engaging way that you have implemented the loan interest calculator activity. Same way, I would request you to do the same with the maze and the beetle. Show your creativity. Feel free to make the video as long as you want to explain everything and give your experience about the bootcamp as well. So after this, all you have to do is mark complete the DIY food chain game, and session 2 will be done as well. All right. So I hope everything was clear to all of you and you all are ready to give your best for this particular session assignments as well. Now, just to revise the prize and recognitions criteria, I want you to please focus over here as well. So to get the participation certificate, you have to complete the online course that I just showed you. You have to mark each and every subtopic and each and every session as mark as complete by clicking the button, and the attendance to the attendance form and the feedback form of each session is mandatory to submit. That is when you will get your participation certificate. To get the badges, all you have to do is complete all of the assignments. That means you have to submit YouTube video link of all of the sessions, and you have to score more than 60% for the final quiz. These two, educators, listen to me very carefully. These two you can do anytime. It is up to you. You don't have the time limit for this. But if you want to take a part in this, if you want to get a chance to be one of the top 10 performers, you have to do everything that is mentioned here under the top 10 performer criteria before 8th of September. The last date is 8th of September. So if you want to be as one of the top performers who will be receiving the top performer certificate, badge, participation certificate, as well as the STEMpedia's AI and robotic kits, you have to complete all of your assignments. You have to complete the whole LMS. That means mark all complete. You have to score more than 60% in the final quiz. And you have to submit a capstone project. Everything, all of these 4 things has to be done latest by 8th of September. That is when you will be considered as one of the participant of the top performer list. So this is what I wanted to explain. I hope everything is clear to all of you. If you still have any question, you can ask your question in the chat box. By that time, I request all of you to please fill the feedback compose session survey. I'm sharing the survey link, the feedback form link in the live chat box as well. So feel free to ask your questions. So caption project is basically an interactive project that you will be submitting at the end of the bootcamp. No, it is not compulsory to submit video every day. As I mentioned, if you want to, you can. If you want to be a part of the top performer, you have to submit everything before 8th. But if you don't want to, then you can submit assignments anytime. That is up to you. But I encourage you to take a part in the top performers list because I know you all are capable of that.
Hey Vivek, we are also getting some queries on like after filling the feedback form or the attendance form, we will be getting the certificates. So no educators, this is one criteria to get the certificate by filling the feedback and attendance form. After filling the feedback and attendance form, you have to complete the LMS assignments as well. After completion of LMS online course which you have, then you will be able to get your certificate. So to get the certificate, there are 2 criteria. The one is filling the forms which we are providing to you, the attendance and the feedback form. The third criteria is to complete your LMS online course for getting the certificates. I hope I'm clear to all of you. Still, if you do have any kind of doubt, please reach out to us through Telegram channel or our WhatsApp groups are already there.
Yes, dear educators. So thank you so much, Ms. Shruti, for adding in onto this. So you have to do all of these, and I encourage you to submit all the assignments also, so that you can also take a part in the top performing race. So caption project is basically an innovative project that you have to make. So you have to make a fully working project. It can be a prototype also, but it should be working to at least a good extent that we can also understand what the project will be, doing. So it can be a prototype also, but it should be working at least at some extent. You have to make a YouTube video of that project also, and you have to submit that YouTube video only. Also, I just want to mention on the coming Saturday and Sunday, we will be open on Zoom for your doubts. So you can join the Zoom doubt session. We will be sharing the links in each and every group on Saturday as well as on Sunday. You can join the doubt session to get your doubts resolved. You can have one-on-one with me and Miss Shruti in the doubt session, and we will be resolving your queries live. If you forgot to mark your attendance for yesterday's session, you can do it by visiting the yesterday's session YouTube video link in the description. In each video description, we have the attendance and the feedback form. Plus, on your LMS also, the attendance and feedback form is there on the introductory page of each session. So I want you to please fill the feedback form by the time we are, solving your queries. For session 10, you don't need Quirky Kit. If you have it, that's great. You can use any other hardware that is compatible with the PictoBlox platform. But yeah, basically, we will be just learning about self-driving cars, and we will be making one activity with the help of the hardware that is available at your end.
Vivek, we are getting some queries on like from different countries, even from India, from different states, that people are not understanding the English language. So I am requesting to all the educators, all the like proactive educators who are willing to create the content in their regional languages. So we are really happy to have those educators with us. So we are requesting all the educators to please write us at education uh, education at the STEMpedia.com, and please send your send your email to us on a volunteer basis, and we would be happy to have you on board for the regional translations or regional video creations, regional language video creations or content creations.
Yes, definitely correct. Educators, if you want to help us out to change the language or the PictoBlox platform so that it meets your needs and you can use that in your classroom, you can feel free to reach out to us. All right. So if you have filled the feedback form, please give us a big thumbs up in the live chat box. The LMS registration link, there is no LMS registration link, ma'am. You just need to have to register for the course for the bootcamp. And once you do, you will be redirected to the LMS.
There are also queries are coming upon the activity which we have showcased today. So people are not able to complete those activities, or people are getting some errors. So I would request to all the educators that this session is totally recorded. So you can just scroll it back and rewatch this activity again. And still, if you'll find any kind of issue, just please reach out to us through our Telegram channel or WhatsApp channel. We are there for 24 into 7. So you can just reach out to us. We'll be happy to resolve your queries. Thank you.
You're right.
There is one, Gabriela. Thank you so much, Gabriela, for asking this question. So, yes, you can record your tutorial video in any kind of language, which is
Right.
your regional language. And this is not mandatory that to create the videos in the language which is English. So, we are already conducting this session in English. So, for for creating the regional based language videos or the content, you can share your videos in your regional language for sure.
Exactly. All right. So I hope all of you have filled out the feedback form. And you can also join our teachers community on Telegram as well as the WhatsApp using the QR codes that are there in front of you. With that, the links are also there in the description box. So feel free to join our Telegram group for latest updates about the bootcamp and to get your queries resolved during, after, and before the session. So thank you so much to all of the educators for joining as well as for filling in the form. So in the upcoming session, session number 3, we will be working on the real-time face detection, where we will be mastering the face detection functions using the PictoBlox Python interface, as well as we will be making our own activity of live emotion, real-time face emotion detector. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Signing off, Bootcamp registration team. Sorry, Bootcamp organization team. Thank you so much, Ms. Shruti, for your cooperation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Ani ma'am, for staying tuned with us.
Thank you. It was
Thank
really
you,
amazing.
Anina.
Vivek had conducted it very nicely.
Thank you so much, Anina.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in. Yeah. Bye-bye.